Hi everyone, Chris Tuck here, survivorsofabuse.org.uk. So we are back here in South East London at the 1 in 4 charity in Bellingham. So we are now on week 3 of our 8-week course, and I just wanted to give you a little bit of an update. So we've got all of our work on the wall, which I will show you in a moment, but I just wanted to give you a recap of what the 8-week program is all about. So the Breaking the Cycle C.L.E.A.N.E.R Living Therapy program is about 7 pillars of health and well-being. We have clear, concise mindset, lifestyle choices, endocrine system, anatomical alignment, nutrition, exercise, and rest and regeneration. All of those pillars overlap and interrelate. So the course and how we run it is reflected in the NHS guide into running courses of any shape or form. So there might be a peer-to-peer group, they may be a counselling group, they may be a psycho-educational group like this or course. You can check out that guide that I was project manager on for Emma Harewood for NHS England, and it's available on their website. So this course is based on blueprint, best practice, because we fed into that guide, we wrote that guide, and we have tweaked our course to reflect what is in that guide. So I'm really proud that our course meets all of the requirements of best practice. So we started off with setting ground rules for the participants in the room. We then asked them about their support network, and if they haven't got anything in place for themselves, where could they go and get help and support? And when everyone shares who they've used, what was good, what didn't work for them, then that just opens up the floor for everyone to search out the best support network for them at this time in their lives. We then looked at what does looking after yourself look like, what does it mean? And again, it's a group participation focus session to get us to what the group comes up with, and I'll show you in a moment. We then looked at health. What does that actually mean, and how do we achieve it? And we look at mental, spiritual, emotional, physical, and we look at all different ways of actually implementing that for each individual in the room. What have they tried? What may they like to try going forwards? We look at stress. Again, what is it and how does it manifest for each of the participants? We then look at why we might be suffering from crisis stress, chronic stress, stress because of what has happened to us in the past or currently. And it could be because of childhood abuse, it could be because of domestic violence, and it could be because of some other kind of trauma, and it could be because of layers of trauma. And then we look at what does good health look like and how do we achieve that, but we look at it from a point of view of if we had received love, care, nurture, safety, education, then our lives might have looked completely different to what they do now. And we look at what is missing for the individual and how can we go about incorporating that into our everyday right now. Each and every week we do a checkout. Each and every week we do a check-in. We do reflections on the past week. We do a covering of anything that might be misunderstood or needs capturing or needs re-explaining maybe in a different way. So we do all of that at each and every session. We also make sure that there is an agenda for the session, but we also make it very clear that all depends on how the group turns up that week. Are they chatty? Do they want to just knuckle down and learn? So it just depends on the dynamics of the group in how we stick to that agenda or how far we go off that agenda. And then I and my co-facilitator need to bring the group back on track. But we are very fluid and very flexible in the needs of each and every group. So there is 2 lots of 45-minute learning about the brain, about the body, based on the 7 pillars that I shared with you right at the beginning. But it's more about giving them awareness and education so that they can go away and implement what it is they need. And we give them so much information that it could be overwhelming. So we always caveat just taking one small step at a time, because if it's overwhelming, it sets off the alarm system, the triggers, the hormonal response, and that can just get you into a cycle that we're trying to break the cycle of. So we always, there's a line to tread and keep bringing people back. Now, some of the feedback that we've already had from week 1 and week 2, I'm just going to show you, different for every single group. But some of the takeaways is any movement is good. There is healing through group work. They understand now the stress and the list of different stressors. They've gaining more knowledge. There can be fun. They love the Pilates and the breathing, and they love the connection. Also, last week, there were people that felt triggered. There were people that understood that getting help and support in the room was a good thing because they haven't received that from outside. There was understanding some of the things that they were doing were causing them to feel uneasy and dysregulated. However, they now have the tools to implement to make them feel that they are okay, they're in a safe space, and that they can, in this space, explore what is going on for them, because we have our co-facilitator who is a counsellor that can help them when they do become dysregulated to ground themselves and either rejoin the group and carry on with the learning or leave after feeling safe again. So we know from our work that anything can be a trigger to someone in the room. Anything. So we need to actually sit with that, explore it, and deal with it. So when we can deal with it in a safe space, then when they're outside of the room, they know then how to tackle what it is that's going on for them. Or equally, if it's something that's causing them a lot of distress, then that is when they need to go and have one-to-one intervention. So we learn about boundaries, we learn about what abuse is, what it isn't. We learn about how to connect with different people from different religions, different backgrounds, different ethnicities. But the one thing that drives my work is we've all come from a place of being harmed. We all come from a place of being stuck, and we're all here to change and move forwards. So I'm hoping that's given you a lot of information to think about. If you want any more, please get in touch. Bye for now.